Tuesday morning, the 8th day of March. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings in Wayne County is a popular thing to dine in or take out for one delicious meal, and with the low great prices, it's simply a steal. Famous for the variety of sauces, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. When it's time to eat lunch or dinner, Damon's Restaurant the place to go. Located in the middle of town on West Cherry Street, yes, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings simply can't be beat. So next time you're hungry and looking for a great meal, head to Damon's Restaurant and enjoy a great deal. The number to call is easy, 588-WING, 588-9464, the real thing. Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings. Those chicken wings are a very popular thing.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. On the phone with us from Atlanta, State Senator Blake Tillery. Bob, take it away.
Yeah, it's Tuesdays with Tillery. State Senator Blake Tillery on the phone with us. Blake, how you doing today?
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Doing great. Give us the update of what's taking place this week up there in Atlanta.
Full days of session just today. I think there's 5 bills on the floor today and 2 motions to reconsider other special actions. The motion to reconsider involves vaccine mandates, vaccine passports. It passed the Senate on Thursday. But someone in the minority party filed a motion to reconsider to prohibit that bill from passing on over to the House, to just delay it a little bit. So there'll be a motion to reconsider this morning. It'll most likely fail. The motion to reconsider will fail, which means the bill will pass across on over to the House for their consideration. Again, that bill would ban state and local governments from mandating passports from going into government buildings, etc. And then another special action involves property tax exemptions in agricultural use. You've got crop dusters, and the question is whether or not a crop duster should have to pay ad valorem taxes, and that's another special action up for consideration. That's a little more dicey. I don't know if that's going to pass or not. It requires a 2/3 vote because of the way the bill is structured. And after we get through those special actions, you'll have 5 bills on the floor today. Everything from improving apprenticeships through the technical college system, through something like Coastal Pines down in our neck of the woods, to increasing the penalties for pimping and pandering, to there's a bill that's out there that tries to deal with helping get more truck drivers on the road, and then some data exchange issues with courts. And then there's others as well. Obviously, that's only 4. There's another one. And once we get through those today, we head right back into committee meetings to try to get things knocked out before crossover day, which is coming up next week.
Yeah, you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're in charge of that budget. I think we talked with Stephen Meeks yesterday. He said there's a tentative budget on the floor. Or give us the update on the budget.
We thought that the House might have an amendment to agree to the Senate's position on the floor today, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that worked out today. It'll probably be maybe later on in the week we still have a disagreement on just a couple of issues, but probably 90% there. Just got to work out the last few little disagreements and get it done.
Does the budget include all those payments to everybody, state employees, and teachers, things like that? I know there's discussion about one side thought it was a good idea, the other side was not so in favor of it. So where do we stand on that?
Yeah. Well, we're just dealing with the amended budget, so amending the FY22, the current fiscal year we're in. So this is the budget that would plus up or plus down items until September the 30th. And where we stand is if you're not elected, you probably get a bonus. If you're elected, the Senate took and greatly reduced that amount. That will be coming your way. Again, nothing, we weren't trying to be mean to elected officials, but part of the feeling, I think, is that leaders eat last, and the Senate just kind of reaffirmed that position. And, when we ran for office, we sort of knew what it was. Also, Title 45 is pretty clear that you can't give a bonus to elected officials, so we had to change some things on the House bill there. But there's really generally agreement on that part now. That's not the part that's still holding out there. The issues really involve language and quality payments to concerning nursing facilities. The Senate is insisting on if we're going to increase payments to nursing homes, that it involves quality outcomes, that they're reducing like pressure ulcers, which are also called bed sores, and reducing falls, etc. Sort of tying any increase in payments to nursing homes to quality payments.
And you're just joining us on the phone with us, State Senator Blake Tillery's Tuesdays with Tillery. As you mentioned, crossover day right around the corner. How many more days left in the session? Are we winding it down? A couple more weeks, or where do we stand?
15 more. Today's day 25. So we should wrap up if we stay on schedule and are able to get the budget done. Then we should wrap up around April the 4th.
So April 4th is going to be the final day of the session. That's the plan right now. So a couple more weeks. So that's kind of interesting. But so what do you have on your plate between now and then? Just getting this budget approved, or what all you have on your plate?
That's the big one. There's a bill that I have in Judiciary. We talked about a few of the bills I have. One dealt with telemarketing calls, people's numbers being spoofed and things like that. We were able to get that out of the Senate, and it's now over in the House. I'll be still trying to move that bill to, again, honor the Georgia Do Not Call list, increase the penalties when people are spoofing their numbers or otherwise trying to call folks who've already made it very clear they didn't want to be called, and trying to clear up lines so that they can get the calls from their family and friends that they actually want to receive. The other bill that I have today in Senate Judiciary involves, we've had some issues with judges not having updated records to be able to tell if someone should be able to bond out of court or whether or not they should be held. If they were charged with a similar crime 2 weeks before, you probably don't want to bond them out this time. But the data from the clerk's office has been a little bit slow in getting there, not so much in our neck of the woods, but really in larger cities. And there's a bill that I have that tries to tie some of the funding to the clerks to that, getting that data done. That's one way we found that sometimes when you tie the budget numbers to it, you're able to incentivize results a little bit quicker.
I mentioned with Stephen yesterday, I'm curious, are you hearing from a lot of teachers? I'm reading a lot about what's going to be taught in schools, what can't be taught in schools. A lot of discussion about that, a lot of legislation about that. So are you hearing from teachers in this area, or what's going on up there in Atlanta?
Yeah, we're hearing from a lot of teachers up here, but really not from back home. And again, I'm not elected to represent the teachers in Decatur, so I do appreciate them coming by, but I'm much more in tune to what the teachers in Jeff Davis or Appleton or Wayne County are saying than what they're saying in Decatur or Gwinnett or Barrow County.
All right. We ask you all the time, what are you hearing from the constituents? What's on their mind as the session winds down?
The biggest thing is the ag building that some folks are working on in Wayne County. That's what I keep hearing questions about, and they're working on some stuff I know with either the school system or the county. And ag's always been extremely important in Wayne County, and that is the thing that I've probably heard the most about.
Okay, well, like I said, the good news is we got the money for the water and sewer. We're getting money for broadband. I asked Stephen, any other items of money that are going to come this way in our area that will be beneficial?
Well, I think we're starting to see the well dry up a little bit. You're going to see revenue numbers for last month were only 1% over what they were the 12 months prior. And, the sugar high is going to end. I've been saying this for a while. I know that the folks listening understand that. You can't, if you're on a roller coaster, what goes up comes down. And we're probably at the precipice coming back down the other side now. $4.10 a gallon gas is going to greatly inhibit our growth and our economy. If someone's trying to pull a head of cattle to market, and they were paying $2.50 a year ago for diesel, and now they're going to be paying $4.50 or $5 for diesel. That's going to really inhibit prices and what they're able to do.
Any talk about any tax relief on gasoline or diesel for a few months to help folks out? Is there any talk about that in the hallways there in the Capitol?
We've heard a little bit about that starting to perk up a little bit yesterday. Georgia's tax on fuel, I got to go back and look and make sure I understand exactly what it is, because it's tied to a CAFR that floats over time. I don't know. I can tell you this much: I don't think it would even be able to affect the change that we've seen in the past month. Yeah,
because Georgia has one of the lowest gas taxes of any state in the nation.
I know we did before they did House Bill 170 before I came to the legislature. So I need to go back and check and figure out exactly what that is before I say something. I have to come back next week and correct it.
Okay.
But I think the answer is really what everyone knows. The reason why we were able to be an energy exporter for years is because we use technologies like fracking, et cetera, to increase our own oil production. It simply makes absolute no sense for us to fund both sides of the fight in Europe, the oil side to buy Russian oil, while at the same time funding the Ukrainian side by sending over jets to Poland. My position on that has been pretty clear for a while. Support the Ukrainian people. I wish we were not funding both sides of the war.
I don't understand why we're still buying oil from Russia. That just does not make any sense to me at all. We've got a pipeline from Canada that could be turned on. Of course, Biden would never do that, I don't think. But we have more resources here in our country to be able to produce more oil. But for some reason, we want to continue to buy from Russia and help them out. That is something that people I talk to just don't understand.
We share the same sentiments, Butch.
And I know back in 2008 when gas prices really went up, there was a lot of talk. I'm not sure if it actually happened or not, where some taxes were lowered just a little bit on the price of gas and diesel to help folks out. But you said right now there's just some rumblings, but nothing definitely set from anyone that's fired up about it and trying to push a bill through or get one written up, right?
I think that there's an emergency power that lies with the governor, and that's something I think that they're all discussing.
Okay, you said something earlier about a bill being put through there on trying to get more truck drivers. How would that help Georgia get more truck drivers? What does that bill say?
There's a bill right now that deals with there's certain things that keep them from being able to get a CDL license. Certain things that may have happened in their past, whether it be in criminal history or other charges. And this bill takes a look at that, tries to weigh those out, look how far in the past those may have occurred, to say, if they were, and this is going to be up for debate today on the floor, how far in the past is far enough in the past that we would say you're probably safe to be getting a CDL license and driving.
Okay, so just kind of loosening that up a little bit.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You're just trying to loosen up some of those restrictions that's been in place for a long time.
Right. And things where, again, may have made sense at one point in time, but if someone's been rehabilitated, we really need them working.
You got that right.
We should allow them to.
Okay. Anything going on with the prison system for the state of Georgia in terms of new prisons or increases in staff or anything of that sort?
There's several things. And the state level, obviously, we have a federal prison down in Jesup, but that is handled simply by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. On the state side, you may know that Georgia State Prison is winding down and almost has 0 prisoners left. It's approaching 95 years old. What you'll see is, I believe, if the amended budget passes, and this is not one of the issues up in debate in the amended budget right now, is a rebuild of that facility at some site in Georgia. It could be in Tattnall County. It could be elsewhere. Talking with the local officials now about do they still want that there. The state obviously owns substantial property there. So the rebuild of that facility and likely buying another facility so that we can get out of some of our older facilities that have safety concerns that just are not suited to house the current prisoner. At one point in time, we were to a point where prisoners were able to stay in dorms in sort of a communal living. After criminal justice reform, the folks that were able to probably have more of a communal living have gone through some type of rehabilitation and are no longer there. You're now stuck with folks who probably need to be behind a locked door.
Okay.
And so the rebuilds of prisons is going to be about a $500 million line item in the budget.
Okay.
That's moving forward. There's also raises for state employees or state prison correction officers.
And what's on your agenda for the rest of the day?
We got a full one here. We got these 7 items, 5 bills on the floor, 2 special items from special consideration, and then we'll go straight into committee work. 4 committees today for me, and then I'm including some of the budget meetings. And so we'll get done sometime late this evening and get ready to do it again tomorrow.
Okay. Bob?
Just one final thing. I see with the gambling issues coming in again, possibility of letting people vote on that. Where do you see that going? Is that going to die again, or are they going to let people decide?
I don't know the answer on that one. I think it may have come out of committee. It's still not made it out of Senate rules to make it to the Senate floor. Folks in my area haven't heard a whole lot of support for gambling. I guess that could change, and we could get more calls today about that. But right now, the folks I've talked to in our area haven't been really interested in new casinos, new horse racing, or even the only thing I've heard people say they support was some of the different, like DraftKings and stuff on concerning sports, where they're doing things on their mobile apps, I guess, fantasy teams. But I haven't heard much support from our area for anything else.
Okay. We appreciate it very much. Always good talking to you on Tuesdays. We'll talk to you next Tuesday. Stay safe in Atlanta. Appreciate it, Blake. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
Y'all have a great afternoon.
All right. And Tuesdays with Tillery right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. And we appreciate State Senator Blake Tillery taking time out of his busy schedule up there. There's a lot of meetings today, as usual. Is there, got, I guess, about 4 more weeks left. It's amazing. April 4th is a Monday. So it's amazing they go home and then come back up on that Monday. And usually on that last day, they're there till about midnight, trying to get those last bills passed, sent to the governor's desk. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens on April 4th when they do wrap this thing up. And so we'll have Wednesdays with Werkheiser tomorrow. State Representative Bill Werkheiser will be our special guest tomorrow, as he'll be calling in and telling us what's going on the House side. As each week goes by, the ball is like a snowball going downhill. It gets faster and faster and faster as they're trying to get these last bills through here before crossover day. Because you got to have them all done before then. But I haven't heard anything, from the governor or any state leader up there in Atlanta talk about tax relief on the tax gas on from the state on gasoline and diesel. I haven't heard anything. Have you seen anything? Blake said there's some rumblings there, but no one's really tried to push anything.
The question is how's that gas going to go before it's all said and done in Ukraine? It goes up every day.
It goes up every day, and if you lower it 5 cents a gallon or 10 cents a gallon, I don't know what the current tax is for the state of Georgia on gasoline and diesel. It won't make a big dent, but every little bit counts, Bob.
Better pull out your bicycle.
Yesterday I was getting gas. And you can tell that people are getting frustrated. You could hear them on their cell phones. You could hear them talking to each other and stuff like that. It's like, I'm going to have to stop going to work because I can't afford to drive to work anymore. And stuff like that. As we're back at the highest gas prices we've ever had. 2008 was the last time it got up to around $4 a gallon. And now we're I think yesterday when I got gas, it was like $3.88 or something like that, somewhere in that area. And so it'll continue to go up as that war continues in Ukraine.
Yeah. Doesn't look good.
And let me tell you, I think most people would pay an extra 10 cents a gallon or whatever the case may be not to be able to buy oil from Russia and help their economy out and help their war effort there by funding their war, by buying oil from there. I don't understand that. We have got so many areas that we can get more oil of out here in our country, in America. First of all, the pipeline from Canada, but there's several other areas offshore in other states that we can drill for more oil. But I don't think you're going to see that happen under their current administration in Congress. They're just anti-expanding, increasing oil production here in the country, it looks like to me. And a lot of folks. I know a lot of people are, on the Republican side are very frustrated because we got all these oil reserves out, all these oil out there. We just stopped production. And so I understand the president's going to go talk to Saudi Arabia. I don't know what that's going to do. We're one of the biggest producers of oil in the world, and we could produce a lot more. And I've been trying to, but the current administration in Congress and then the Congress before that would not allow that to happen. Even though Trump wanted it, it still didn't happen. But it'll continue to go up. I think they said it went up 11 cents in one day this week. From the day before, 11 cents. So,
it's not only gas. The price of food's going up as well.
Because
everything's
transportation, going up, of moving you got the price of gasoline and diesel going up. And so with that happening, when you transport all the goods to different stores, that makes the cost of the products go up because they have to charge more.
So there's scenes on TV, those poor people in Ukraine, just, all you do is pray for them. But sanctions aren't working. I mean, the president of Ukraine's asking for help, but nobody seems to want to help. So that's what's frustrating watching for me.
It is frustrating.
The sanctions don't do anything. Putin doesn't care about sanctions.
No,
I mean, those poor people in Ukraine, they're losing their home, they're losing their lives. I mean, it's just a sad situation. But hopefully we can get Buddy Carter on.
We got to get Buddy on soon.
Find out where he stands and what's going on, and is there anything that they can do to help those people in Ukraine, because it's just a sad situation.
We were supposed to be trying to provide some sort of planes to them of some sort. Sell them to this country, who sells them to that country, who gives them to Ukraine or something like that, to go around that way. But it is frustrating. It just seems like there would be more that we could do to help them out, because they're fighting their buns off over there. They got 2 million refugees right now. Most of them seem to be going to Poland at this moment, and Poland is welcoming them with open arms. They get there, and they got buses for them and camps for them, and they take them to different cities where they may know somebody or have a relative or whatever. Just thank God for Poland there stepping forward and helping all these refugees, as they're trying to get out of the way of all this fighting over there.
As you and Blake mentioned, the next push, and there's more and more pressure to stop buying oil from Russia. I mean, that's the next step. Yeah. But why we haven't done it already is just why we haven't done a lot of things is just mind-boggling to me. But like I said, I've just watched those scenes, and it's just sad to see all those people leaving their homes, and they've got one bag, and where are they going? It's a mess. But I feel sorry for that president of Ukraine. I said he's begging for help, but nobody seems to want to help.
Yeah. Some folks are trying to help. And I'm sure there's a lot going on that we don't know about.
Sanctions just aren't doing anything.
But sanctions take a while. I mean, they take a while to do something, but basically what Russia has done now is to isolate themselves from most of the world. You still got countries out there they'll still do it, but as long as we're doing business with them, then we really don't have any say-so of criticizing any other countries that do, because we shouldn't be buying anything from them. I understand there's some American companies that have completely shut down. They're not doing business over there anymore. At least they're doing something.
I'm with Lindsey Graham. Let's just take him out. They got James Bonds. Somebody's got to go in and just take him out.
I got a feeling it's going to have to be a coup there in Russia. I really do. I think that somebody there in Russia is going to have to say, "All right, you're out of here," because they've had, I think, over 11,000 troops killed already. You've got mothers of these young men that are marching in the streets, going to Kremlin about that. You've got Russian soldiers, so they're giving themselves up and saying, "Hey, we're sorry. We thought we were just in a training exercise. We're sorry about this kind of stuff." And so it'll be interesting to see how all this turns out. But we should not be buying oil. We shouldn't have anything to do with Russia. They should be completely cut off from everything. If they got funds, if you got these Russian billionaires going around the world in their yachts, they shouldn't be a port. They should be able to get in. If there's funds here in America in any type of banks or anything like that, freeze those, and then also try to drill or open up more pipelines for oil in this country. We've got it, but for some reason, there's a lot of folks that are in power who don't want us to expand oil production. Even Elon Musk, who owns Tesla, which is electric cars, said the other day, and you wouldn't think he would say this because you think because he's because of having electric, he sells electric cars, but he says because of this emergency situation, we should be expanding oil production in this country and not just sitting back on our hands and doing nothing and still buying oil from Russia and not expanding here in America. And they didn't expect that for him because he builds electric cars. Okay. But this is an emergency situation. And, of course, by 2030, most everybody, the next car you're going to buy at that time is going to be electric anyway. So it's just a very frustrating situation. And your heart does go out to these folks over there. You see the footage, you see the pictures and so forth of all these 2 million refugees having to leave their homes and try to get the heck out of Dodge. Try to go somewhere and get out of the line of fire. But you've got to give it to the president of Ukraine. He's sticking in there. He's fighting hard, and the Russians have got a bigger fight on their hand than they thought they would. So the Ukrainians are saying, if you're going to take our country, you're going to pay for it. But then it's like one military commander said, who's a Green Beret, said that if they do start controlling things over there, they better be expected for a long guerrilla warfare. Russia will, as these, it's hard to find everybody, and so they'll have this guerrilla warfare going over there. That'll still even cost them more. And nobody can understand why Putin did this. There was nothing for Russia to gain from it. They could only lose from it. So people are just wondering about the mental state of Putin.
Take him out.
Well, that'd be like, say, taking out our president. It's kind of hard to do because he's got so much security around him. But it just looks like it's going to have to be the Russian people themselves to say, "Hey, we don't want any more of this. Get out of here."
Well, the Russian people don't look like they're on board at all. But like I said, they're out protesting, but they're all getting arrested. So Putin's doing a good job of shutting down the media, shutting down, half the people don't even know what's going on. So it's a mess. But I said, I just feel for the Ukrainian president. He's asking for help. I say somebody needs to help him. He's begging for help.
Yep. Yeah, he is.
All we're saying is sanctions. Sanctions ain't doing anything. So that's just my personal opinion. I think they need to go in and help him. You would think somebody come help us. I mean, just think if we're in that situation. Can you imagine that? I mean,
yep.
I mean, I understand why somebody can't go help him, why they can't provide air support, why they can't provide military support. I mean, the guy's begging for help. I mean, hats off to him. I mean, he's standing strong. His people are standing strong. And like I said, they're putting up a fight. But the sad thing is, the longer it goes on, the bloodier it's going to get, more and more people are going to die. So I just think there's a way to help more than sanctions. So looking forward to getting Buddy on and find out what his solution is and see if Congress can step in to help out.
I know that someone compared the president of Ukraine to being a modern day Churchill, fighting those against the odds of sticking in there, of putting the emotional speeches out there to his people. Putin's hidden in the Kremlin somewhere, and and the president of Ukraine's right out there in the middle of it all, trying to lead his country to stay independent and not be taken over by another country. Who would have thought today in the modern world that you would have this happen? You know, so many people have compared Putin to Hitler. I mean, I've seen it on so many websites and so many news stories, and because the same excuses, the same reasons why Hitler gave to invade Czechoslovakia and Poland and stuff like that is the same ones that Putin used to go into Ukraine. Same thing. They're comparing into him that it's the 1930s all over again. So it's frustrating, but for us here in America, it means higher prices. Gas prices are up, which means if gas prices are up, products are going to go up because you have to ship those. And if a company has to pay more for gasoline and diesel, they don't have to charge more for the product. All right, Bob. You have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial, Murphy Builder Supply, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, and First Southern Bank.